Most NFL trades have a winner and a loser. Someone gets fleeced, someone gets a steal, and sports radio spends the next 5 years arguing about it. The Herschel Walker trade, Dallas robbed Minnesota blind. The Deshaun Watson trade, Cleveland handed Houston 3 first-round picks and Watson didn't even make the playoffs for 3 straight years. Lopsided deals are basically tradition in this league, but on January 31st, 2021, something genuinely rare happened. 2 franchises pulled off a trade where both sides walked away getting exactly what they needed, and both of them went on to prove it. No losers, no fine print, just one of the cleanest, most perfectly balanced swaps in the history of professional football. The Detroit Lions traded Matthew Stafford to the Los Angeles Rams for Jared Goff, a 2021 third-round pick, and 2 future first-round picks in 2022 and 2023. That's it. On paper, straightforward. But what followed over the next 4 years is a story that nobody could have scripted. Why Detroit was done. To understand why this trade made sense, you have to understand just how broken the Detroit Lions were. Stafford had been the Lions' franchise quarterback for 12 years. 12. He was their all-time leader in passing yards, 45,109, passing touchdowns, 282, and completions, 3,898. He was talented, durable, and loyal, and he had 0 playoff wins to show for any of it. The Lions had gone 0-3 in the playoffs with him. They had 3 consecutive double-digit loss seasons heading into 2021. The franchise was in such bad shape that they brought in a brand new general manager, Brad Holmes, and a brand new head coach, Dan Campbell, at the same time. Fresh start from the ground up. Stafford, at 33 years old, wasn't interested in being part of another rebuild. He'd given Detroit everything he had. He asked for a trade, and honestly, nobody blamed him. The Lions agreed. They owed him at least that much. Why LA was desperate. Over in Los Angeles, the Rams were in a completely different situation, but equally stuck. Jared Goff had taken them to Super Bowl 53 back in 2018. He made 2 Pro Bowls. He had moments of genuine brilliance, but by 2020, the relationship between Goff and head coach Sean McVay had quietly fractured. The offense wasn't clicking. Goff wasn't progressing the way McVay needed. And the Rams, a team built to win right now, were running out of time. McVay had already mortgaged the franchise's future chasing championships, trading away first-round picks for Brandon Cooks, Jalen Ramsey, and even the right to draft Jared Goff in the first place. After trading for Stafford, the Rams would go 7 consecutive years without a first-round pick. That's how locked in they were on winning immediately. The trade happens. On March 18, 2021, it became official. 2 former first overall picks swapping teams for the first time in the common draft era, which dates back to 1967. That had literally never happened before. 2 number 1 picks traded directly for each other. The full breakdown. Rams got, Matthew Stafford Lions got, Jared Goff plus 2021 third-round pick plus 2022 first-round pick plus 2023 first-round pick. At the time, the consensus was that Detroit clearly got the better end of the deal on paper. A younger quarterback and 2 first-rounders, that's a haul. But the Rams weren't trying to win on paper. What Stafford did in year 1. The 2021 season was one of the more jaw-dropping individual performances you'll see from a quarterback in his first year with a new team. Stafford threw 41 touchdowns, tying his career high, and immediately looked like a completely different player in McVay's system. The Rams went 12-5 and won the NFC West. Then the playoffs started, and Stafford turned into something else entirely. Against Tampa Bay in the divisional round, the Rams blew a 27-3 lead in the 4th quarter and somehow tied the game. With 42 seconds left, Stafford found Cooper Kupp on a 44-yard shot down the field to set up the game-winning field goal. Ice in his veins. The NFC Championship against San Francisco, Rams down 17-7 in the 4th quarter. Stafford orchestrated a comeback, hit Kupp for a touchdown. Then the defense came up with a game-sealing interception. Rams to the Super Bowl 56, Cincinnati Bengals. Stafford's Rams down 20-16 in the 4th quarter. Final drive, he completed 7 of 11 passes for 56 yards, capped by a touchdown pass to Kupp with 1 minute and 29 seconds left. The Rams won 23-20. He became the first quarterback since Eli Manning to lead a 4th quarter comeback in both a conference championship and a Super Bowl in the same postseason. And he did all of that in his first season with the team. Matthew Stafford, 12 years in Detroit, 0 playoff wins. 1 year in Los Angeles, 1 Super Bowl ring. The man was never the problem. What Detroit built. Now here's where this trade gets genuinely insane. The Lions didn't just get Goff. They got an entire team through those picks. The 2022 first rounder from the Rams came in at 30 32nd overall because the Rams won the Super Bowl that year. Detroit packaged it with other picks and traded up to grab Jameson Williams, a dynamic wide receiver who's since gone over 1,000 receiving yards and signed an $83 million extension with the Lions. The 2023 first-rounder from the Rams came in at 6th overall because the defending Super Bowl champion Rams went 5-12 the following year after Stafford got injured. Detroit traded that pick plus a third-rounder to Arizona for picks 12, 34, and 168. With pick 12, they selected Jahmyr Gibbs, the Alabama running back who immediately became one of the most explosive players in the entire league. With pick 34, they grabbed Sam Laporta, a tight end who broke records for rookie receptions. So from one trade, Detroit eventually assembled Jared Goff, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Josh Paschal, Broderick Martin, and Ifeatu Melifonwu. 7 players. From one deal for a guy who asked to be traded, what Goff became. Here's the part that nobody saw coming in January 2021. When Goff landed in Detroit, he was widely viewed as a backup-level quarterback who got exposed in a big market. His reputation was cooked. The narrative was brutal. The Rams had to throw in 2 first-round picks just to get someone to take his contract. Then Dan Campbell and the Lions did something nobody expected. They built around him, they trusted him, and Goff quietly became one of the most accurate, most efficient quarterbacks in football. In 2023, his 3rd season with Detroit, Goff led the Lions to their first playoff victory since 1991. He took them to the NFC Championship game. In 2024, he posted a 111.8 passer rating, a Detroit franchise record, and finished 2nd in the NFL in completion percentage, 2nd in passing yards, and 3rd in passing touchdowns. He was an MVP finalist. He signed a 4-year, $212 million extension with $170 million guaranteed, making him one of the highest-paid quarterbacks in the league. Goff went 18 for 18 for 292 yards against Seattle in 2024, the most attempts and passing yards in a game without a single incompletion in NFL history. He became the first quarterback to complete all his passes with at least 11 attempts, records that have never been set before. This is the guy they were throwing away. Why this trade stands alone. In most trades, you can point to a winner. Even in fair deals, one side usually benefits more with time. That's just the nature of NFL transactions. Too many variables, too much uncertainty. But the Stafford-Goff deal is genuinely different because the outcome wasn't just good for both teams. It was transformative for both teams. The Rams went from a team with a good coach and a mismatched quarterback to Super Bowl champions in 12 months. The Lions went from 3 wins in 2021 to a legitimate NFC powerhouse built around a quarterback everyone had given up on. Stafford got his ring, Goff got his redemption, the Rams got their championship, the Lions got an entire roster. That's the rarest thing in professional football, and it's why this deal, a swap of 2 quarterbacks that most people initially viewed as a wash, will be studied and talked about long after both Stafford and Goff are retired. It wasn't about winning the trade, it was about winning, and somehow, impossibly, they both did.